Okay. What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the What's Good Games podcast. I'm your host, Andrea Renee, joined in studio by Miss Brittany Brombacher.
Hello.
And Miss Christine Steimer.
Hello.
Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
It's so good to see you. I missed you last week, but you both did an excellent job on the show.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It was the Brit and motherfucking Steimer show.
It was real weird.
You started out strong. Out the gate, the motherfucking Steimer show.
I know. I
It
was
was
like,
fantastic.
I was thrown off. I was not expecting it.
You gotta be there, Steimer. You gotta be ready to receive things when I throw them at you.
Yes, like your butt.
Like my butt. Like last night, we were
Yes.
doing some dancing.
It happened.
What was?
You
Oh,
were-
whoop! There it is.
No, you were dancing
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
Milli
well,
Vanilli at that time.
Oh.
When you were backing it up, it
Blame
was
It on
to
the
Blame
Rain.
It on
Oh
the
yeah,
Rain.
yeah.
And then we were twerking to Whoop, There It Is.
Yes, correct.
Which then
Right.
hard smashed into My Heart Will Go On.
Yes.
Which was the weirdest pivot of all time. If you guys are not following us on social media, that's where a lot of the photos and the antics were
Yeah.
posted at Blonde Nerd, at Steimer, at Andrea Renee on Twitter. And I believe we're the same on Instagram, except Steimer is
K Steimer.
K Steimer, and I'm Andrea Renee _. But Britt,
Get on my level, girls.
Hey,
I
I
mean-
tried, okay? I was late to the Instagram game. The girl who has at Andrea Renee is like doing nothing with her account.
Same.
Right.
The person who has
Yeah.
Steimer does nothing with theirs. I'm like, this is BS.
Like
Yeah.
a
I
sir
can't
or
get
a ma'am
this.
who has what's good games. Not doing anything with it.
Yeah, just
Okay.
camping it.
Just
Yeah.
sitting on it,
been
waiting
camping
for
it.
one day.
It's a thing.
It's fine.
But welcome to the show, everybody. This is your source for video game commentary, analysis, and funny stuff. Here every week we get together and we talk about video games, and we hope that you like video games and love the show. If you do, you can connect with us on social media, as we were just talking about. On Twitter, we are What's Good _games. You can find us at facebook.com/what'sgoodgames. And if you have an extra buck or two or five laying around and you'd like to kick it our way, patreon.com/what'sgoodgames. We have some fun content over there for the month of February. If you missed out, we talked about our favorite video game romances in the secret segment. We gave you a behind the scenes studio tour in the Patreon exclusive video. And coming up for March, we're working on some fun stuff as well. And it's I guess it's not too late to get in. You can
Hell
technically
no.
get in at any time of the
That's what
month
she
now.
said. No.
No, you
Don't
can
forget-
because you also get back. Like if you join later, you would get to see the last
The
stuff,
backlogs.
The backlog.
Yeah.
And the Patreon only streams.
Yep.
That'll be our Q&A available to all patrons. It's
gonna be great.
Gets
It's a
real
good
weird.
time. Gets real weird.
Yeah, we played Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter World in the last stream. And if you missed the clip that Britt posted, go to our Twitter page. Some vocals happen, of course,
course.
Vocals
Vocals.
used
Singing.
loosely.
Used loosely, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I do want to let you guys know that this week's episode of What's Good Games is brought to you by Ripped Gamers, one of our awesome sponsors. So we've been talking about how this is the time of year when most of us have given up on our New Year's resolutions to get back into shape. We're a couple months in. The diet's kind of getting lax, not going to the gym as much as we thought we were going to. And maybe we've resigned ourselves to being unmotivated again until next January. But we're here to tell you it's not too late to get back to your fitness goals, and Ripped Gamers is here to help. Created by personal trainer Tim Ross, Ripped Gamers is more than a fitness program. It's an online community of people who enjoy what you do. Video games. The big problem with our hobby that we all love is that it often requires us to be pretty sedentary. But Tim is here to help get physically fit without compromising your gaming lifestyle. His goal? To help gamers everywhere get healthy and feel comfortable with their bodies. He's lost over 40 pounds personally, and he's here to tell you that it's very simple if you do it right. Tim is giving away a complete step-by-step training and nutrition program that you can use to begin your fitness journey. You can also join the Ripped Gamers Facebook community for advice, support, or just to meet some gamers who have done or are doing a weight loss journey with you. Now, if you're really serious, he even offers one-on-one, entirely online coaching that you can sign up for anywhere in the world. What's kind of crazy, though, is that everything over at Ripped Gamers is completely free. Yes, you heard right, 100% free. The program, the Facebook group, and even the one-on-one coaching. This isn't a gimmick, and no, you don't need to put your email address or your credit card in anywhere to access everything you'd ever need to get lean. Now, Tim really believes in giving for the sake of giving, and that's pretty damn cool. Now, if you want to kickstart your fitness journey and get started working towards your goals, head on over to the Ripped Gamers community at rippedgamers.com. That's rippedgamers.com. Download your free program and join the community. Everything you need to lose weight is right at your fingertips and 100% free. And I've been in the Facebook group, as has the other ladies, and it's been a really fun process seeing people join and kind of talking to people and meeting people. And every once in a while, I'll pop in there and give some of my own personal fitness tips. So again, the Ripped Gamers Facebook group, if you guys want to head on over there too. So thank you, Tim. Ladies, there's been a lot of talk this week about something that I feel like we've been talking about ad nauseum.
Forever.
Ooh, what's it?
Also, that was very sexy.
What was?
The ad nauseum.
Oh.
Nauseum.
Well, you know what's not
Vomiting.
sexy? Loot boxes.
What?
Yeah, I know. So they're back in the news this week. Some interesting news coming from the ESRB, the Entertainment Software Ratings Board. They have defended loot boxes to a U.S. senator. They've launched a new label and an education effort. So I've got a little bit of a summary here.
Was it an education effort?
I mean, technically, yes, parental tools. So, in case you missed the news earlier this week, video games will soon list on boxes and in online descriptions if they include in-game purchases, the Entertainment Software Ratings Board announced this week. That information will not, however, differentiate what sorts of purchases, such as loot boxes, are included. The news comes after months of gamer anger, vocal discord, and threat of political intervention, all centered around the use of loot box microtransactions. The head of the ESRB released a letter defending loot boxes, which he sent to a senator who was calling into question the practice of selling loot boxes, which deliver randomized awards to players through a purchase or an earned item box. Sorry. I have these.
You have Funyun in your
I have
throat?
flaming hot Funyuns in my mouth right now.
Oh,
It's funny because, like, right as I was reading the stuff from Ripped Gamers, I was like, I'm totally not eating flaming hot Funyuns.
You better put those away.
Not doing it.
had some Cheetos earlier.
Oh, I was just
I'm
about
just gonna
to
leave
see
them right here.
Put them next to me. Thanks, girl. Make me look like
Everything
like the
in
guilty one.
moderation.
Help me eat them, Brittany.
Hell no.
That's a pro tip.
My stomach's on fire.
Anyway, continuing on. ESRB President Patricia Vance says that loot boxes aren't gambling and are more compatible to baseball cards, where there is an element of surprise and you always get something. The video game industry is evolving and
Girl,
innovating.
get that spicy shit away from me.
Bring them back over here. I'll eat them. Oh my gosh. Okay. Quote, the video game industry is evolving and innovating continually, as is the ESRB rating system, said Patricia Vance in a prepared statement. ESRB's goal is to ensure that parents have the most up-to-date and comprehensive tools at their disposal to help them decide which games are appropriate for their children. With the new in-game purchases interactive element coming to physical games, parents will know when a game contains offers for players to purchase additional content. Moreover, we will be expanding our efforts to educate parents about the controls currently at their disposal to manage in-game spending before their kids press start. End quote. So, things to note. This new label won't specifically detail the sorts of purchases available in a game, nor will the addition of this label list as many, nor will the addition of this label, which will be listed as one of many available unrated online interactions, have any impact on the game's actual rating. Now, the issue of loot boxes specifically, which award, as we mentioned, randomized prizes, is important because lawmakers in several states like Hawaii are either seeking laws to control the use of this specific sort of in-game purchase or asking federal regulators to investigate the issue. So it's worth noting the ESRB doesn't view the loot box sale as a form of gambling, which we've mentioned on the show several times, but rather as a, quote, fun way to acquire items. There is always an element of surprise, but you always get something and there's no way to cash out. Steimer with the double birds for everyone listening.
I just think it's like so out of touch for them to be like, it's just a fun way to get some content, guys. It's like baseball cards, which I've offered up before. It isn't, it's not, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's, and I kind of pat them on the back for like using that. Like, good pivot, guys. But
Yeah, someone's got to do the pivot.
it's it lacks that third party element. Like, yes, if I have 20 duplicates of baseball cards. I can like trade with you, or I can sell them to someone else. Like there's a way for me to get rid of them.
You can't trade in-game items.
No, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, oh, sorry.
No,
Yeah.
that's not-
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
That's why I'm with you, Steimer.
Yeah. So you can't do shit with the things that you don't, unless they've built it into
Where you can like break
the
them
game
down
where you
to
can
get
break them.
credits
Exactly.
or something.
Some games have
games
done
do
that.
that.
Yeah.
and that's okay to me. I'm fine with that. But I do hate it when it's just like, you got what you got. And then also, I watched you guys for a little bit today on the Kind of Funny Games Daily, and how you were mentioning, wow, my brain had just turned off. That was really weird. But
It's the Funyuns.
it was the Funyuns.
We were mentioning.
You were mentioning like how you just gone to Vegas and like seeing the slot machines and how much the psychology of like loot boxes and how they really try and hit those brain triggers to make you want to keep purchasing. And baseball cards don't do that. Like they have that element of surprise and like fun, but they don't have cha-ching, like coin slot things. They don't have fancy lights blinking at you,
and
like
blooping and
it's
you want $1.
lacking the fanfare that loot boxes have, and there is very much like a real psychological tie to gambling there.
100%. Yeah. I had mentioned that after being at DICE last week, and seeing how advanced the gaming tech is in these slot machines now. Like they've gone, some of these machines go so over the top in a really like incredible way. But I mean, you just like, you're so attracted to it, and like the lights and the graphics, and like there's this
raccoons.
one that was like
things.
10 feet high, and you could sit in the chair, and it's like a full like the screen for where the graphic goes when you hit the slot button, just like the whole thing animates and the chair rumbles and
my god!
Oh yeah,
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, you put $5 in and it's gone in like 10 seconds.
Oh yeah.
You know, and like I get why
I hit the
people.
button. I hit the button.
It's really fun though, but I get why people think that loot boxes are gambling, because like they like seeing the slot machines so recently, like they look so similar in so many ways.
It's a weird hybrid of gambling and baseball cards, because like you do like you would never walk away with nothing. So to that point, it's not like you would never be like, I spent $20 and got nothing, like literally nothing for it. You may not get the thing you want.
You do get a lot of garbage in loot boxes, though.
Right. You might not get the thing you want, but you'll have something. And if they have tied in a nice system where you can break things down and like recycle them, and you're like, all right, this is kind of a little bit, it's easing the blow. Is that
it's softening the blow.
Softening the blow.
I got
like,
you,
what's
Sam.
what's the phrase?
Got you always and forever. I think this is, like I said on the show today, it's like a half step in the right direction. Like the whole reason this is a thing that people are raising a stink about is it's like, this is what's the word I'm looking for, Summer? I got your back now.
Oh shit. Sorry.
Not unlawful. Not. This is not good. This is not a good thing. This does not give me the warm and fuzzies, Summer.
Wait, I'm so
God damn it,
confused.
Sarah.
Are you
I
looking
love
for
you.
a singular word?
I think so.
You were looking for a word.
This is not kosher.
Unethical.
Oh,
It's not unethical.
That's maybe what I was looking for.
Well, I
That
mean, it
works.
might be. I think there's an argument to be made that some of these loot boxes are unethical.
And so
Yes.
I think slapping a label that covers basically almost every video game now that's been published is it sure, like you're educating maybe parents who will be like, oh, this game offers this, that, and the other. Oh, that's interesting. But there's nothing specific in there in loot boxes. I know they were like, oh, parents don't understand what loot boxes are. They just want to know if their child's spending money on a video game. Welcome to 10 years ago. Yes, Timer.
When I read that statement of like parents don't understand things, all I could think of was parents just don't understand. Like I just thought like the fucking song. Like that's immediately what started playing in my head.
It does sound like something out of the 90s, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's also, worth mentioning that like the reason why we don't think that this label is going to do anything is because it covers virtually every game that
Every-
So
exists
every
out there
game
today.
is going to have this label, and it's going to end up sort of like in the state of California, for those who don't live here, almost every building and or thing in this fucking state has a label on it that says, warning, this thing has substances in it that are known to cause
Chemicals that
cancer.
can cause
Yeah.
cancer.
And you're
yeah.
like, well, clearly everything in the world causes cancer, so why am I going to worry
That's
about it
probably
anymore?
true.
And like you just ignore it, right? At some point, like they put these labels thinking like this was going to help anybody. I don't know how you would think that.
Right, but the labels
But
become so ubiquitous that you just start
yeah.
ignoring them, right?
Yeah, exactly. So like that's what's going to happen here is that they're just going to
Yeah.
gloss over them. This is not going to help parents in any way, shape, or form make their purchasing decisions.
Which is funny because it's not parents who really this isn't because of parents. This is because of people who are like, I'm going to, what do you call it? Peacock it out, and I'm going to make everything a big deal. And then parents are like, yeah, thank you. You're saving my child in their video games. The thing I want to see are, at the very minimum, odds posted for what you're going to win and the odds of winning something. Like, how hard do you have to pray to RNGesus?
How many prayer candles?
And then
do
at
you
that
need
point,
to buy?
I feel like, if you say this is your odds of winning, there's really not much more you can do. People can't accuse you of, they can accuse you because you can still do douchebaggy things.
True. Always.
But it would be a lot better.
Now, I'm curious to see whether or not this is enough. So, like, the ESRB's whole purpose in life is to basically try to prevent government regulations. So, I'm like, all right, you've made the babiest of baby steps here in hopes that this is enough to, like, get the, representatives off your back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that it's going to. Like, I think that people are still going to be like,
I think this is like a small reprieve, right?
loot
They're gonna get a little bit of a break, but they're going to eventually have to address this again. I mean, they did also release parentaltools.org, which gives parents in-game purchase explanations, parental control guides, and also gives parents educational information about what their consoles are capable of. For example, it shows them, like, if you have an Xbox One, these are all the different parental tools that are available on that system. If you have a Nintendo Switch, this is how you use the parental tools on the Nintendo Switch. So I think that that's also a good step in the right direction. But ultimately, what needs to come down to is parents just need to take responsibility for what their children are playing.
So, like, gamer parents will have no issues, right? Everyone, they know how to do this. It's Joe Schmo parents. And I've seen, like, I know parents like this, and they don't care. And that's, like, a thing you also have to realize is, like, at some point you can try and educate people till you're blue in the face, but some people really just
It's more of like a covering of your ass, right?
Oh, it totally
These tools are here for you. And I didn't know this until I went to what's the URL?
Parentaltools.org.
Right, that you can set monthly spending limits. I didn't know you could do that. That seems like such an easy solution.
I didn't know you could do that either.
Yeah, just go in there and, anytime you want to make a purchase through whatever at the stores, it's like, no, sorry. And then you're fine. You're good. And
yeah, that way you don't have those surprise credit card bills where you're like, little Jimmy, what have you been doing on the internet?
I think that the money issue is obviously part of the problem, but I think it also is a concern for parents that it's setting up bad habits for kids, particularly
totally.
like middle school age,
Middle-aged.
middle school age kids going into high school that are starting to learn, the basics of, money management and, what's acceptable and what's not and how to be responsible. It's one of those things that, like, you don't want kids to develop bad habits and kind of get hooked on these idea of loot boxes and, like, the kind of, like, the addiction itch. You don't want it to start early. I think I agree with you, Britt, when we were talking earlier about how it's an easy solution to just put the odds in there. Why is it such a hard thing? What do you have to hide?
Where are you putting the odds, though? Because if you're putting them in the box, the trouble is that software is malleable and you can change that at any time.
I suggested putting them in the EULA agreements or the terms and services because for the most part, when you boot up a game that you've bought a physical disc for, most games still have, like, a little thing you have to read at the beginning.
See, I think it should go in when you're about to purchase.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, when you're about to do store. Like roll for the thing, there should be like press Y to look at odds.
Well, more of like, something where it's like, okay, I've gone to this store, here's a box, like, or if I'm looking, like, have a way for, I want to look up this skin, what are my odds of getting this skin? And it's like, 1 in a million, good luck, buddy.
Nope.
You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning than getting this skin.
I mean, I think that, that's a fair point. I think putting them in game like that, right at the point of sale, would be ideal, but I'm trying to find the easiest path to compromise.
Sure.
And I have a feeling that the publishers and developers are going to be like, well, we don't want to do that.
And you're going to be like, why not? What do you got to hide? Why are you being so icky with your numbers?
True. And I still put forward the argument that doesn't matter how obvious the odds are, you could put the odds right next to the buy button.
People still buy lottery tickets.
Yeah. I mean, I bought lottery tickets today.
You did.
Hey, what? Jackpots over 200 million.
See?
We need a
This is exactly why it does not matter. Go ahead and put the odds in the purchase, like, right there. It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to buy them.
Oh, it's true. It's
Someone
true.
has
And
to win.
I still would buy loot boxes, for games that I like, for stuff that I want.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, like I know that there is a faction of people out there that want to see loot boxes go away altogether, and I understand why you feel that way. I also prefer to just buy the cosmetic items I want outright than to gamble for them, to roll for them. But I do love opening those loot llamas in Fortnite.
Oh my
They're
God.
so much fun.
You always get like a crazy laughter about you when you're ready to whack the llama.
I know, it's so fun. I don't know why. Dang
You
it,
do know
Epic.
why? Because
That's the
they built it
psychology.
specifically
I
to
know.
make you want
They
to
totally
keep doing
did,
it.
those
Yeah.
jerks. But we'll keep an eye on this. I think, this is good. I think this is, like I said earlier, like a small reprieve, but this issue clearly isn't going away.
Oh no.
No.
But hopefully, the ESRB will continue to manage it on its own, and we don't have any more senators or other legislators trying to introduce
Peacocking.
laws.
does
No
a
laws
peacock
about video games. Just let us self-regulate. It's the way. It's best. It's for the best.
We'll bumble through it. We'll be
Yeah.
fine.
Indeed. All right. Moving on. A big birthday happened this week for Pokemon.
Pokemon.
We're not. We already sang the
Gotta
song
catch
last night.
'em all.
We can't do it again.
You and me.
So Pokemon turned 22 this week.
Oh my
but
God! They
had-
can legally drink.
Well, they could technically legally drink last year.
I know, but like for reals.
Now they're not going to have any eventful birthdays until they turn 30. So they've got about 8 years.
25. You can rent a car, Pokemon.
I guess that's true. You can technically rent a car when you're
Yeah, it's
just
just
more
cheaper.
expensive.
Yeah, it's just really expensive.
So they didn't really do a whole lot for their birthday this week. Some enterprising Pokemon fans were speculating that maybe we would get some kind of an announcement about the next Pokemon game. Alas, it did not happen.
I didn't expect that, but
No.
something.
Some people just like to get hype. Tim Geddes. So the Pokemon Company managed to find at least a few nice ways to celebrate the franchise's anniversary on February 27th. They have a free application for Google Home and Amazon Alexa compatible smart devices. Pikachu Talk will give your hardware the voice of the most iconic Pokemon, which probably isn't helpful for anyone who actually uses Alexa and Google to help out. You can ask Pikachu questions and it will respond with one of its little squeaks. You guys, we're going to try this out for our Patreon exclusive video for the month of March.
Yep.
So if you want to watch us talk to Pikachu through Alexa, you got to go to patreon.com/whatsgoodgames.
Only requires $1, baby.
Just $1.
$1.
That's it. If you got this is just more talking about Pikachu. For the intriguing selfie takers, there's a new line of Snapchat lenses that will let you become Bulbasaur, Charmander.
Charmander.
I always say that wrong.
That's okay. It's your
It's
thing.
Squirtle. These filters will be available
Squirtle.
on the photo taking app for a limited time starting this week, and we have yet to see the real stars of the show in Snapchat form, but we can offer you this preview of Bulbasaur. And when I say we offer you this
Bulbasaur.
preview, there's a photo of Brittany.
Yeah.
Bulbasaur.
Yeah, and it's really weird, Simon, because, I mean, Andrea, I love you, but you don't know your Pokemon.
No, this is true.
It's true. It's fine.
This is not controversial.
It asks you to open your mouth,
Yeah, that's what a lot of Snapchat filters do.
but nothing comes out of your mouth. And, I
Oh.
mean, Bulbasaur isn't, like, known for opening its mouth. I mean, it's always like,
well, he asked you to say Bulbasaur.
Sour. And that's fine and cute and all, but I thought that was kind of strange.
Wait, like not like petals
have you
didn't fly out of
seen
your
the
mouth?
filter?
I haven't.
Okay, I'll
Do you have
show you.
Snapchat on your phone?
No, I will show you the picture, Simon.
But how did you get it on your face?
Andrea Renee introduced me to
You have
Snapchat filters
Snapchat.
today.
I have Snapchat. I'm sorry if my Funyun crunching is too loud in the microphone.
So it's like open your mouth, and it just makes me look kind of happy and somewhat possessed.
You don't look like Bulbasaur.
No, so you get
You
what's
just
it
get a
called?
leaf halo.
a leaf halo, and then you get some sparkles, which I
So-
said is because Bulbasaur has to absorb the sunlight, so the bulb will grow and he'll turn into Ivysaur.
What do the other ones look like?
They could have
That's
done.
the only one that's out
That's
right
the only
now.
one that's out right now.
Oh,
They
oh,
could have done better.
And then there's the
just throwing it out
Bulbasaur
there.
in the bottom left corner of the filter.
Yeah, like you should be a plant.
Would
I
I
don't
make it?
know.
Would I
Like-
make an attractive
like-
plant? Is that what you're
Like
saying?
no, I just mean like if you're gonna
I don't
turn
think
you
can
into
see this,
Bulbasaur.
friends,
No.
but nope.
You're
Zoom in real
it's like
close.
every Snapchat filter with the skin retouching and the sparkly, slightly bigger eyes.
Did you tweet that from the What's Good Games account?
I tweeted it from my personal account.
So at Blonde Nerd, go to at Blonde Nerd, hit that little media tab.
Yeah.
You'll be able to find it.
The Pikachu one, you'd better have Pikachu ears or they fucked up.
There is no Pikachu one right
Oh
now.
shit! No, I know
Oh, there
right now,
won't be
but
a
like, won't
Pikachu
be?
one.
What?
It's Bulbasaur, Charmander,
Oh, yeah, the
and
Bulbasaur,
Squirtle.
Charmander.
Charmander.
I said Charmander.
Charmander.
Char, like
God
charbroiled.
dang it. Maybe I'll remember that, like charbroil. Got it.
Charbroil.
Yes.
Gonna charbroil Charmander.
Well, then they're dumb because
Eat it.
Pikachu should have.
What about the
Pikachu
exciting
ears.
news about the new Pokemon movie?
Oh wait, yes, the Pokemon movie. What exciting news?
Is it not in there? You can stream it for like a week now, I think.
Oh yes, the birthday. So the return of the birthday hat wearing Pikachu in Pokemon Go. Don't forget about that, which will appear on February 28th through February 28th at 1 p.m. So by the time you're listening to this show, he'll be gone. The Pokemon TV website and app will also screen the series' latest film, Pokemon the Movie. I Choose You. So by the time you're listening to the show, that's probably going to be done as well.
That's the one where Pikachu speaks, Steimer.
With Ryan Reynolds' voice?
No,
that's the movie that's not out yet.
I always want to be with you.
Oh no! Ew, creepy tiny voice.
It is creepy tiny voice.
Is that the only thing he says though? We don't know. That was the only time he talked in that clip.
Some people argue that it was telepathic.
I think it's more. You're like, you know that weird. Granted, most people haven't been in this weird state. Like you're about to die, and you're like, or pass out, and then like you just imagine shit. He's just hallucinating.
You think he's just hallucinating? Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if there's been an official statement from Nintendo about Pikachu speaking or not. I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
This is a thing. It's yay Pokemon, love you. We're just all waiting for that Switch.
Give us that
thing.
sweet Switch
Yes.
Pokemon.
Oh yeah, sweet thing.
Yeah, I think we'll hear something by E3, if not at E3.
At E3
for sure.
would be my guess.
It's supposed to come out this year.
Did they say that? I thought they just said. Wait, did they say
No,
that?
sorry. No, it could come out this year is what
Yeah.
I meant. They're saying it
I was like, I don't
could
think-
come out this year.
Well,
and it's like,
Yeah, they don't have a major first-party game announcement yet.
and they
Right.
have that online service launching in
Kind of
September.
blew their load last year.
Well, that was good.
Sure.
They have to
Sure.
launch with something online in September, I think, to sweeten it. I mean, granted, I think the Nintendo price point for online is super duper like good. $20 a year, like $4 a month, if that's the route you want to go. So, but still, anytime you put money into a thing that's been free, people raise the stink. So if you launch with something like Pokemon,
If
That would be
you
great.
require me to have an online service for Pokemon, I'm gonna be mad at you.
well, for like trading and battling and all that.
Exactly. I'm not paying you $4 a month so I can trade with someone.
Well, no,
F
and
off.
use online functionality. But don't you have? But don't you pay for online right now anyway with like PSN or PlayStation and Xbox?
Yeah, but that's like I'm actually playing like in a party with you. Like we're going on the high seas, or we're going to shoot someone in the face, and like
Shoot someone in the face.
And-
Destiny, yeah.
That's how you
yeah,
justify.
Destiny, and specifically
So, okay,
aliens.
so you need the online
I
software.
need like
And that's-
something to do other than like, hey, I want your Bulbasaur, and you're like, here's a Charmander.
What if you could do battles together, co-op
Right?
battles?
Right? They have the double
Okay.
battles.
That would be okay with me.
And that's something I want. I went on a little tangent today on kind of funny.
That's fine.
It was
You're
good.
allowed to go on
It
tangents.
was fun.
You can do what you want,
I
girl.
love Pokemon.
Speaking of which, if you guys missed Britt and I's takeover of Kind of Funny Games Daily, you can go to youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and check out the episode where Britt and I host the show together. It was a lot of fun. We take your questions. We talk about Pokemon,
Charmander.
Charmander,
Good.
Charbroiled,
Charbroiled.
Charmander.
Now you understand why he's named
Oh
that
my
way.
god, the episode where he's sad and in the rain and almost dies.
Yeah, that's a very sad episode.
It's
Because
heartbreaking.
if the flame goes out on his tail, you see, he dies.
He dies.
And his owner's a douchebag. He left him out there in the ring because he wasn't strong enough.
And he was waiting for him to come back.
But then he ultimately evolves into Charizard, and owner's like, oh my goodness.
I feel like this is why I've never gotten into Pokemon, because it's just like slave labor. Right? They're all just slaves.
that's why Ash gets like Ash actually releases a lot of his Pokemon.
Yeah, Ash is the worst Pokemon trainer ever because he never keeps them. He's like, oh, I just got the super rare Pokemon. I don't know what accent that
What
was.
the hell was that?
I was trying to do like the raspy voice and it did not come out good. And he's like, I'm going to let you go now. Weird accent. And then off Butterfree
Goodbye
goes.
forever, except
Off
for
Butterfree
Pikachu.
goes to bang his new girlfriend. And then that's that.
Butterfree, he's like
Butterfree,
free.
like Machop, Mankey, I think even. He's just like, peace out.
Yeah, he's like, you guys can go live your own life.
Yeah.
But then you're like, but your whole goal in life is to
Be the very best.
be the very best.
It even says in the theme song, you dumbass. Get your shit straight. All right.
I love your face right now.
I'm just listening. I'm just along for this Pokemon ride.
That's the look you gave when you're like waiting for the camera to like start rolling. It's not
You're
a
like-
vacant smile. It's a very pretty smile, but I can sense.
Thanks.
There's nothing behind those eyes.
Dead in the eyes. Okay. Next story. Chrono Trigger has released on Steam this week, but it's not the Chrono Trigger you thought it was. So Square Enix sent out a press release saying that they were going to release Chrono Trigger, one of Britt's beloved role-playing games for $14.99 on Steam, available until April 2nd. But what we didn't know is that it was a port of the mobile version of the game,
LOL.
and it hasn't been received well by longtime fans. So the Windows PC release includes features previously exclusive to the game's Nintendo DS, Android, and iOS releases, as well as new additional updates, which include the Nintendo DS version's pair of bonus dungeons, along with optimized graphics and sound, keyboard and mouse support, and an autosave feature. With the limited edition, buyers will get a medley of music to download, as well as PC wallpapers. These bonuses are available at no added cost through the end of the availability window. So, Britt, what's the scoop on this?
To be fair, I have never finished Chrono Trigger. I appreciate the game for what it is. I know it's a staple. People love the shit out of it. So I can't act like I'm a Chrono Trigger know-it-all
Connoisseur.
Yes. So this is from
you could, but somebody might call you out. Somebody might call you out.
They would call me out. I don't want that. So this came from Engadget. They said, we've gotten our hands on the PC iteration, and it does appear to carry over much from the iOS port with poor sound, almost no... our TV.
She's distracted because a pop-up window has occurred during our recording. Let me just very awkwardly go turn it off. Just keep reading, Britt. Just keep going.
I'll start over. We've gotten our hands on the PC iteration, and it does appear to carry over much from the iOS port with poor sound, almost no graphical options, an odd system font, and the mobile touch interface with minimal accommodations for gamepad and keyboard control. It's certainly disappointing. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer.
Why would you touch controls on a PC? Do you know what you're building it for?
Yeah, it's just strange. It's
not very many PCs have touch control functionality, right?
I know.
Only if select,
there's only
models.
if it's on the screen. There's
tablet.
those weird ones that are tablet hybrid.
That's
things,
what mine is. Yeah.
Otherwise, what you doing? Did you forget? Did you upload the wrong version? What's going on?
Yeah, what I don't understand is why wouldn't you just port the Super Nintendo version? I mean, I don't know. Is that a hard thing to do? Probably not. I don't know though.
I mean, I'm assuming it's easier to do it from mobile to PC.
Yeah, but then shit like this happens.
But it's a garbage way to do it.
I mean, if you're gonna port a game that's that old, I mean, why don't do it right? Otherwise, why bother?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, it's strange. It's not the same thing, but I can't help but be reminded of The Secret of Mana. Okay, Andrea, remake / remaster. What's the goddamn difference?
So I asked my husband this, John, who works at PlayStation. I was like, because they work on a lot of these games. I was like, what's the difference? He said a remaster is using the same art assets, just putting a fresh coat of paint on them. A remake is building new assets.
So you're
making the art
scratch.
is brand new. Yeah.
Got it.
That makes sense.
And I think that's part of the reason why people were not so upset, but why you see Secret of Mana reviews that are so polarized is when you have a beloved game like this that came, I don't know when Chrono Trigger came out, early 90s, and then you have to do it justice if you're going to bring it to PC, because now it's available for people who never played it before. Maybe it's easily accessible this way. And when you botch it like that, it hurts our soul. It's just come on, it's so good on the Super Nintendo as is. Why do you have to try to port something that's not the best version of it? Don't do that. And with Secret of Mana, some people felt this remake did not do it justice. And then that's kind of what I think people are feeling with this Chrono Trigger shenanigans.
I mean, this is why the work that studios like Bluepoint do is so important, because so rarely do studios get the remake right. And it's when you pick a game that has so much nostalgia. I mean, obviously, that's why it's been picked for a remake, right? Because a lot of people remember it and love it and would buy it again. You kind of got to go, listen, if we're not going to put the money and the time into doing this the right way, why are we doing this?
Right.
Because a quick cash grab only works if it's good.
Right.
Otherwise, you've spent this money, redoing the game and then no one buys it. So.
And then everyone hates you.
You get called out.
It's true. You don't want people to hate you. Trust us.
No, it's not
bad.
fun.
It's a bad look. That's all we've got for the news this week. We are, of course, recording a little bit early in the week because we're all here.
Yeah.
So apologies if we missed some big stories that break later in the week, but we, of course, will try to get to them next week on the show. As a reminder, I don't know if we've announced this yet, that IGN's Alana Pierce is going to be a guest on the show next week.
We have not announced this yet, but now we have.
So looking forward to that. She is fantastic. I just got to see her hosting at DICE. She was doing IGN's red carpet interviews ahead of their live stream. She, of course, hosts and produces the Daily Fix over there, along with a lot of other things. We're going to talk to her about lots of cool stuff that she does, not only for IGN, but she also started a brand new podcast with Marty Sliva, which is called Red Lips, Orange Car, which is about missed connections.
That's
on
awesome.
Craigslist. So that's something cool to look forward to next week. But for now, we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about what we've been playing. So stick with us, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. This is the second segment of the What Good Games podcast, where we talk about our hands-on impressions of the games that we have been playing recently. And surprising no one, Steimer is still stuck in Persona 5.
I
Girl.
mean, I'm trying to get through it. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Been a
be
slog.
I'm gonna keep doing it till it's done.
Are you enjoying yourself though?
A little better. So after we talked, I literally put the phone in a different room and started playing that way, and it was better. Oh my god, she's just munching on Funyuns, but
It's
in
Andrea.
a really awkward way.
Sorry, not sorry.
I mean, you get your munch on, girl.
That's what she said. Continue. You put your phone in another room.
So I put my phone in another room so that I wouldn't be as tempted to look things up whenever they came up. And best news, I finally maxed out my charm so that I can finally proceed with Makoto.
Yeah, girl.
Oh my god, it's taken forever, and I've just been constantly going to the bathhouse. I'm like, I need charm.
So how do you get charm from the bathhouse?
I don't know, it just gives you points.
So so there's not an act because I don't remember.
So you just like walk in there and
You
they're
just
like,
walk in,
"Points."
you pay 200 yen, and you get at least 2 points of charm. Sometimes on a specific day, there's a bonus, and you get 3.
Man, it was that easy. IRL.
Right?
I
Just
mean,
go to
there's
the bathhouse
a lot
and
of
you
things
become
in
more
Persona
charming.
that I wish were real. Like, I wish that was an option. I wish that you knew where you stood with people with some weird rank thing. Like, there's,
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
yeah. I'd be like, I think we'd be max rank by
Oh
now.
hell yeah,
So,
it would be good. So you're enjoying it. So, I mean, by how much more though? Because now you're like just kind of winging it, right? Because you don't have your guide.
trying
which
to relax more.
a lot of people wrote in and said, "Yeah, I also faced that same struggle," which was surprising to me. I never,
It's a weird anxiety thing because you're stressing about not being as efficient as you can be.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be that efficient the first playthrough. You just can't,
right. You've accepted your fate, is what you're saying.
yeah, kind of. So long as I'm able to romance Makoto in time, which I'm not sure I will be able to, but I really fucking hope so. I'll be okay. Like, that's my main goal in this game is like, I just want Makoto to be my girlfriend, and if I can make that happen, this will be a success. And if I can't, it will be the first romance I have ever failed in a video game.
Wait, really? You've never failed a romance in a video game before?
Never.
I
Wow,
don't think I have
that's
either.
impressive.
Hell yeah.
Way better at video
Have you?
games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried real hard to get Miranda in Mass Effect 2. and
Really?
she just did not want any of it.
What?
Yeah.
I'm very surprised by this. Wait, but weren't you a femship?
Yes.
So she just isn't. She's not into girls. She's only into guys.
I thought I was. Did I play? I thought I played male Commander Shepard for one of my. I played Mass Effect 2 5 times.
Yeah. No,
Um,
I had a male playthrough where I romanced Ashley, dumped her, then banged Miranda.
I mean, I probably would have failed some romances if I didn't, abuse the save system. How much did you approve of this decision? If they yell at me, I just reboot that save up over again.
I think technically that's cheating.
It's not cheating.
It's cheating at the romance.
I mean, it would be nice if in real life
You can reboot
you're
your
like,
save.
Hold on, rewind.
Dude, yes, that's something.
Hold
I
on,
wish-
I fucked this up real bad.
Let
I
me
didn't mean to
stop.
insult you.
Reload. Yeah,
I did
know.
love your guys' shout out to your guys' romance convo from last week's show.
Thanks.
I know that you said you wished Alexa Ray was here because she would understand. I get it too. I can talk about Bioware romances.
Okay.
I was like,
sorry.
but what about me?
We also would like to talk to you about them. Have you
Well,
heard the
we
good
don't wanna
word about
leave you
video game romances?
Have you heard the good word? Yes, I have.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. But I'm glad to know that you are so proficient at your romances, and I wish you best of luck in Persona.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you're hoping to accomplish besides maximizing your charm, which you've now
Which
accomplished?
I've done. I've maximized my charm and I've maximized my proficiency. So I have knowledge, guts, and I forget the fifth one. Do you remember?
Knowledge, guts, charm. No, it's been a minute.
And
It's been about a year.
the
No,
other, the other
has it been a
things.
year?
Knowledge? Did I say knowledge?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
said
shit.
knowledge.
I don't know.
Is like prowess one?
I don't know.
Should I try to
Sexual
guess what the
prowess?
Persona
I'm like-
abilities are?
I'm like, okay, so there's charm, knowledge, guts.
People listening are like, this one, I'm
Proficiency.
yelling it out loud.
No, I know. Absolutely.
Get on it. Okay, knowledge, guts, proficiency, kindness.
Kindness.
Of course, that's the one Salty Sam forgets about.
I mean,
I'm just saying, you're a very kind person.
It's
Just making
true.
me
She
sound
is.
like
you.
an asshole.
And
Yeah,
charm.
so I'm not max. Everything else is at level 4. There's 5 levels.
Got it.
So but no, that's the only thing I'm hoping. The bad part is I'm like, well, maybe I could just like do another playthrough of this game, and I'm like, no, no.
I will
no.
stop you
I will
and be
stop
like,
you
there are
too.
other things you need to play, Steiner.
There are so many other things I need to play, but for right now, I'm trying to focus
Do
because
you have a game lined up that you want to play after Persona 5?
I probably want to go back to Frozen Wilds. I picked it up, started playing for a little bit, and then put it down. Or no, sorry, Senua's the one I'm gonna pick up again,
Hellblade, yeah.
Yeah.
and then Frozen Wild. Like I'm backlogged. Ugh.
Backlog.
Aren't we all? There's so
know.
many games to play. But Brittany continues to put off her playthrough of Horizon Zero Dawn to play
True.
games like Old Man's Journey.
Hey.
Because that sounds like a rockin' good time.
I have no idea what this game is. Brittany, what is this game?
Okay, so again, I'm in.
This is why I like having you around. I mean, there's multiple reasons, but you pick the weirdest shit. I'm always like, what is Brit playing this week? It's something I've never heard of. I don't know how you found it.
I find it because of the Switch. I love my Switch so much because something about it, and Summer, you probably can relate to this because I know you only like to play RPGs on handhelds, right?
Correct.
Right. Something about my Switch makes me want to pick up these indie titles that I never otherwise would have played. It's like A Night in the Woods. What was when I played last?
I would
week?
argue if
Something else.
Persona 5 was on a Switch, I would have been done with it already.
Damn, girl. Well, that's part of it is you can bring it with you. And so I juggle many games, and I have a travel game. And so my travel game is something I can get on the Switch. So before I flew here to San Francisco, I was like, all right, what game am I going to play this time? And I found one called Old Man's Journey. And this one is developed and published by Broken Rules. It came out May of last year for Android, iOS, PC, and it just came out recently for the Switch. So this
Do
game,
you play an old man?
you do. And this game's only like an hour and a half long.
Shocking.
So you could finish this, like I
Hey,
said, hour and a
you
half
don't
to 2
know.
hours. It's really short.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
so-
love short games.
And the game opens, and you are an old man, and you receive a letter, and there's no dialogue, nothing in this game, no speech.
No music?
There's music,
Okay.
but nothing. Like the characters don't talk. It's just one character, and it is an old man, and he receives a letter, and he visibly looks very upset. He shuffles into his house, grabs a backpack or something that he can travel with.
A knapsack?
No, it's the thing that rolls
It's
up
a-
on your back.
Rolls up on your
Like a
back.
camp- Camping
like
bag?
a camping bag, yeah, something like that. Even though he never camps, and a walking stick, and then off he goes. So it's a very very light platformer in the sense that platformer / puzzle, and you're this old dude, and you like walk like from left to right, and then there's all these hills behind you, and what you have to do is pull the hills down.
Like you do.
Like you hold, yeah, click and drag, and then you make it so the hills are all connecting at some point, and then he can hop to that next hill.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
You
and-
gotta help his old man feet out.
Right, and exactly. And so every time you finish a chapter, I think there's maybe like 10 to 15 of them. They're, again, the game thank you, Andrea. The game takes like an hour and a half.
Got a little mic rotation happening right now.
She's helping my mic. Thanks. This is usually where Steimer sits, so I'm like not accustomed
Oh,
to this.
sorry.
It's all good.
There you go.
Thanks, girl. Now I have to hunch down a little bit. So like I said, the game takes an hour and a half to 2 hours. So the chapters aren't long, and every time you finish a chapter, you get like a really beautiful piece of art with some like maybe light music or sound effects that depicts a part of this man's life leading up to the finale. I would recommend playing it. It's, the puzzle isn't hard. It's not difficult. There are a few that like made me scratch my beard a little bit, but it's a beautiful beautiful story, and it is a little emotional. I did shed a few tears on my flight here.
Did you really?
I did. I really did. It could have been the free whiskey I got from my first class upgrade.
You know what? I was going to try and
That
play
laugh
on the
was so
plane
good.
this time and then forgot that this iPhone doesn't have a headphone jack.
You know how many times that screwed
Florence?
me over?
It's yes.
I also downloaded Florence. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it. It looks really good. The art looks beautiful, and it's getting really great ratings.
Yeah, so I'm excited to play it, but it's going to have to be when I'm not on a plane.
Yeah.
Unless I can remember to bring Bluetooth headphones next time.
Right? So this game, Florence, is from, so if you guys are familiar with Monument Valley, the lead of that game made this game Florence, and I believe it was published by, Annapurna Interactive. Looks really great. Supposed to be pretty emotional. Also very short, about an hour, maybe less than that.
I love it. Cross
So-
it off my list. I love crossing things off lists.
Yeah, I'm going to be the first to admit that I am woefully behind on my gaming resolution for this year. No, it's only February. We're at the end of, it's technically March now. And my goal was to finish 2 games per month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've finished anything yet.
Hold on.
Technically, I finished Assassin's Creed Origins.
There you go.
Well, it's hard right now because I forgot. I was going to say, hold on. I forgot to talk about Kingdom Come Deliverance, but I talked about that on last week's
did.
show. I'm still
Yeah.
loving it. Still great. We just need those patches. Warhorse.
Yeah, I'm going to wait. After hearing you talk about it at length, I think I'm going to wait until some of the patches come out. I'm intrigued by that game, but something that kind of struck me as you guys were talking about it when I was listening to your kind of description of it, it sounds like they've put a lot of really great detail into the game, but I'm really torn about how I feel about it being a realistic representation of medieval times, because I love the power of being a fantasy character in that era. I don't like the idea of being a powerless female character in that era.
What if you can be a thief?
Because I'm guessing if it's set in a medieval setting, you have to be like a white knight dude,
I mean,
right?
you are a white dude. Yeah, and that's the only option you can play as.
Which, for the record, is not a problem. It's just not something I'm like attracted to.
Right. But what the game does really well is it really does make you feel like you are just powerless plebe. Like, because you were the
I
son.
like how Andrew's like, I don't want to be powerless. I want to like shoot fireballs
No,
from the
but
sky.
Literally, I want to mage the shit out of life.
Yeah, so there's
Oh,
obviously
hell
none
yeah.
of that. But obviously, I'm assuming throughout the story, you rise to power. And you know, I've already made some steps in my life. In
But
this
rise
game.
to power in a more political way, because if it's realistic, there ain't no magics.
Right?
Right. I mean, yeah, like it's definitely no Skyrim or Dragon Age. Like there's no fireballs raining from the sky, and there's no you're the Inquisitor. It's like no, you're a dude.
I just
the
want
son
to
of
shoot
a,
lightning out of my hand.
the son of a that's not happening. The son of a blacksmith who was lost everything, and because a certain lord owes you a favor and survived the attack on your town, you kind of have a way in.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm very intrigued by it, but.
How are the politics in it? Does it have a little bit of Games of Throning in it, at least?
Yes, absolutely. It's
Okay.
it's a little, yeah. And like I said, I'm not very far in the story because I'm too busy exploring and like upping my stats and doing the whole RPG thing.
You're grinding.
I'm
Yeah.
grinding and I'm enjoying it. I'm picking flowers every 5 steps, getting that herbalism up.
I was like, what? Why would you pick flowers?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're definitely
Make
are.
those potions.
Yeah, I haven't really interacted with the characters too high in power yet. Like the ones that are really going to come into play. I
Can
think
you
later
poison
on.
people?
Yes, I think you. Yeah. You can
I mean,
poison.
with the advanced alchemy system that you were describing, I have to imagine.
I'm hoping
right?
that like
Yeah, I think you can
You may not be
poison-
able to like set someone on fire
maybe
with
you
your
can.
hand. With your hand.
Oh, but you can probably.
you
do
can
something
probably
like that.
Set their insides on fire
Yeah,
with poison.
Exactly.
But the scenes where the cut scenes are, I love them so much because I love that kind of stuff, you know. And they're super well done. And the way that people talk and the like cheery music playing in the background. I don't know what that the instrument is. That's in every single like medieval
heard.
Renaissance fair ever that you hear. No.
Oh,
but
like the.
it's like I don't know. It's like
like a
not
mandolin?
maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I'm
It's not a
super drawn
mandolin.
to it.
Here, let
I'm
me
just
look it
gonna
up.
call it a mandolin because it's a fun word to say.
John would know the answer to this.
Probably.
It's great. I'm really.
Is it like
really
a guitar-y
enjoying it.
thing?
It could,
Or
it's
like
the
the lute that like a
lute?
bard plays. Yeah,
Yeah.
lute is probably right.
Yeah, lute. That sounds about it. But yeah, I mean, definitely our politics. You definitely, do fall into place. And I think what's going to be really interesting, because there was a point where I needed to lockpick a thing for a quest. and I had no money, so I had to like scrounge around and like sell like my because your food deteriorates over time. If you eat it, you'll get poisoned. I had to like sell my food and like try to steal stuff from people and like punch people on the road to try to get by.
You punched people?
Yeah, you gotta get by somehow.
I just want to point out, I'm interrupting. I Googled what do bards play, and the first website that I went to has our merch in the ads in the bottom.
Well,
and I'm like,
because
cookies.
of your Google
and
ads.
I'm like, you served me well. Ads, you know
Thanks.
exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I just want to put that up. But yes, they play lute, flutes, bagpipes, fiddles, guitars, drums, and harps.
Sounds about
there you
right.
go.
So I'm guessing it's the lute.
Yeah.
Lute.
2-stringed instrument with a long neck.
Yes.
Give it a try, Andrea. After the patches come in, give it a shot.
Okay, I will.
Do it for me.
Okay, I will.
I don't know how convincing that was.
How convincing was that? Not very. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Love you. I appreciate the effort.
No, but like I reached out to the developer of this game to say that I was interested and asked for a code, and they sent me one. And I'm waiting after hearing, that they've had some issues at launch because I don't want another Mass Effect Andromeda thing on my hands.
Ooh.
And I powered through that because I love Mass Effect so much, but I wish I had waited. So I'm gonna
Definitely
wait
wait.
until they, get their ish together, and then I'll give it a try because the graphics look great, and I've heard the RPG systems are fun, and you spoke very highly of it, so I'll give it a go. Just not right now.
Yeah. Wait
Right
for
now-
the quality of life.
Right now, I'm playing Bayonetta.
The first
On the
one?
airplane too.
Yeah, so Bayonetta recently came out on Switch, and Bayonetta 2 also available on Switch. And I never played the original Bayonetta. I tried Bayonetta 2 on Wii U back when I was on that console. And what I was not anticipating liking it as much as I do, because this is really the style of game that I just generally stay away from. But of course, Platinum, who developed this game, is known for their awesome combat, and that's been my favorite part of the game so far. Bayonetta, of course, is one of these few female characters that really has agency over her sexuality, and she's always been kind of like an iconic character for that reason. When you look at, kind of tentpole characters who define like how they can represent, like this kind of like lustful sexiness on screen without it being something that they don't have control over. She is a witch. She's an Umbran witch, and the whole backstory about like what happened to her and how she's, coming back into the world and kind of figuring out and recollecting her memories as she goes has been really fascinating. John sat down and watched me play it for a little bit, and he was like so lost because I was like, I'm at chapter 10 now. And he was like, what is even happening in this game? And I was like, it's complicated. There's like a lot of text you have to read to catch up. And in handheld mode on the Switch, it plays great. I haven't really been a fan of using the touchscreen controls, but I think it's a really interesting idea that you can play this really fast-paced combat with like essentially like swipe
really?
mechanics.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's like a whole system of mechanics that you can use the touchscreen on the Switch for. So you can like tap and swipe. I haven't been using that. I've just been using the Switch in handheld mode, and I just played it for the first time a couple of nights ago with the Pro Controller. And it definitely is a lot more fun with the Pro Controller, but I didn't have any issues playing it in the handheld mode for Switch. The graphics look great in handheld mode. Don't look so great on like a full-size TV. It definitely shows its age when you see it on like a 65-inch screen. But in handheld mode, it looks awesome. It's cool to see all of the different items in the game that I can buy that I'm like, I clearly am going to have to go back and play this again. I'm playing it on easy mode right now, which means it has like automatic target locking. I tried playing a couple bosses on normal, and I just got my ass kicked.
I noped. Yeah, I noped right at that one. I tried on normal too when I played on PS3, and it's like, nope.
Yeah.
I think I did the same thing. I'd never finished that game, but
I'm so bad at those kind of games anyway.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
not-
remember
I'm
the
just not very
combos. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many combos to learn, which is fun. I love a combat system that gives you options. It allows you to pick which kind of weapons you prefer to use, and then to be able to combo those weapons together. I'm just starting to kind of get a full grasp on how to use the items in the game and when's a good time to use the items. The crafting is a little bit shallow as far as like what you can do and its impact in the game. Simon, did you ever play the original Bayonetta?
Yeah, but only a little bit.
Yeah,
I played it
so-
for like a few hours, and then I don't know what happened because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I did really love how they brought in the Nintendo franchise costumes. I tried out the Princess Peach costume.
Wait, what does that look like?
Ooh.
It's like really sexy in a way.
Well,
In a
that's,
way that
that's why I was like, what? Because I think when I think Bayonetta, I think sex, and then like
yeah,
Peach is
no, it's yeah. She's,
not so much.
Peach's outfit is a little on the frump side, but like
She's got
but
that hoop
Bayonetta's
skirt.
Peach costume is really cool. So it's basically
Now I
like
wanna
a really
Google it.
short, yeah, you can look it up, a really short tutu. She's wearing like a bodysuit underneath, so it looks like she's wearing like pretty like cheeky underwear underneath. She's got this almost like veil like thing coming down with you got like the stars, the Mario stars in it, and she got the
She
red
almost
high
looks like
heels.
Sailor Moon.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really cute. And what's fun about it is that when you do some of the witch weave moves, a giant
Oh my
Bowser
God.
fist. Wait, which
I
one?
just saw the
the
Link
Link.
costume.
The Link one's
The Link
hilarious.
one's the Link one's so dumb.
Oh my god.
hilarious.
The
And
Samus costume is okay.
the squat she's doing in the Link costume is
Yeah, it's silly. But I like how a giant Bowser fist comes up during the witch weave moves, which is kind of cool. But I only played with it for a little while because it kind of took the seriousness out of it. Not that Bayonetta is a serious game by any stretch of the
But no,
imagination.
she looks good
her
in some
hair
black.
is her outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like when you do the climax moves, like having her in her original costume is so much better than the alternate costumes. But it was fun for like a level or two.
Sure, sure.
But then I switched her back to her original witch outfit. So
It's kind of
that
cool to
Link
see. Yeah,
costume.
I always liked
Yeah.
it when like you would see it kind of like go on and off of her body.
yeah, and then the first time it happened, I was like, "Whoa, she's naked!" So for those of you who have never played Bayonetta or are not familiar, so she's this Umbran witch, and she has a power where she essentially uses her hair, which makes up her outfit, and when she does her super move, the climax, of course, she like puts her arms up in the air, and like the hair just flies off of her body and becomes like a demon, and so these demons take different shapes. Like the first one's like a dragon. That there's like a giant crow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So your
good.
hair, number one, is your outfit. Number two, can turn into a motherfucking dragon.
Yeah,
So good.
it's
And I love
pretty
the
neat.
music that plays during the climaxes too, right?
Yeah.
It's like, blah, blah. Not like that.
Generally, I'm not a fan of Japanese games in combat, how they have the same music that always plays, but the Bayonetta music's real good. Oh yeah. So I'm
It's
I'm
interesting
really
that you
into
say
it.
that because obviously Persona has like the same few songs on
Yeah.
rotation for every battle, and it's been 80 hours, but I don't mind it. I'm still all there
Oh,
for
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if Final Fantasy 9 just kind of like left a bad taste in my mouth because that music just is like maybe don't get sad. I think the problem was is that the random instance battles are just too often.
Turn that shit off.
I did turn them off, but like when I was playing with Alexa Ray, she was telling me like that's just the way it was when you played it back in the
No,
day.
that's totally and like the same with Pokemon, whatever. You're like walking around in the grass.
Oh
like,
yeah,
God
terrible.
damn it!
She's like, done. And the music starts. That
Yeah.
sounds like a turkey or
It
something.
did. I was like, what sort of turkeys are
I'm
happening?
not sure. There's a turkey in the studio, ladies and gentlemen.
Turkey.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
really have been having a good time with it, and I'm about 2/3 of the way through the game right now, and I'm looking forward to finishing it and checking out Bayonetta 2 on Switch.
Oh wow, you're just gonna roll right into two.
And I was
Yeah.
just thinking I might do that too because I tried hopping into Bayonetta 2. I think after. When did Bayonetta 2 come out? On the Wii U.
So,
So I tried
like
playing. Yeah.
2013.
I'm trying to think what
Let me double check.
the year difference was, but I tried playing Bayonetta 2. I was like, and it was on the Wii U, and you know, Wii U was not my favorite
September
console.
20th, 2014. That's when Bayonetta 2 came out.
Okay, I think I might give it another shot. Like hearing you talk about it, because I really did like Bayonetta. It was so crazy and like out there, and it was perfect. And it's like that crazy way that only like I feel like a Japanese developer can really pull off super well. Right?
Absolutely. And well, Platinum is known for their combat, and it really shines in this series. And like I mentioned, the combos are just so fun, and you just feel so powerful, especially if you play on easy like I'm doing.
baby
Totally.
ass, baby mode.
And like,
Yep.
yeah, and I have no shame about it because like I knew that I needed to get through this game quickly to get to Bayonetta 2 because there's a lot of other games that are quickly coming down the horizon,
Like what?
like Far Cry 5, for example.
Ooh,
is
Ni no
out just-
Kuni.
It's just a couple of weeks.
Ni no Kuni 2.
I need something.
Where you
Yeah.
add Alexa Ray.
And I still need to finish the Monster Hunter. I'm
I need shorter games.
Old
'Cause
Man's
I'm like,
Journey.
oh man,
Florence,
Far
there you
Cry
go.
is like gonna be a long game.
Yeah, it is.
And
It'll be
then
fun.
Ni no Kuni, real long game.
Are you gonna play that?
Yeah, because I never played the first one and I always wanted to.
I love you,
And
girl.
so I feel like really bad about the fact that I never played the first one. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play the second one.
That's awesome. We can talk about it.
Yeah.
Let me know when you hop into Bayonetta 2, because I'd
I
like
will.
to play at the same time. That'd be fun. You should too, Steimer. Never mind. Your backlog's insane. No,
Oh,
it's your backlog. No.
Yeah.
She made a face, you guys. This summer I was like, wait,
She thought
what?
I was insulting her, and I'm like, no, girl, I'm trying to help
like,
you
what?
out. I know how much stress your backlog is giving you.
Yeah, Bayonetta's one that I'm okay with not playing. Like, I liked the game, and I do think the combat was really solid when I was playing it, but I'm just not like that person that can remember those combos. I pick things up and put them down too much.
You don't really need to remember the combos.
But
baby
mash and
ass
hope
baby
for the
mode.
best.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the combos, there's so many of them. Like, button mashing just will automatically give you combos. That's just
Yep.
it. If there's a couple moves that you want, you could remember like a couple combos, but there's literally like any combination of punches and kicks will give you a combo.
I do love a good punch and kick.
Yeah, it's
Kick,
great.
punch, it's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you'll find Parappa the Rapper. Anyone? Nope. All right. Vacant stares all around.
I
Okay.
don't remember all the songs
Oh,
from
such a
Parappa
good
the
song.
I love
Rapper.
that you do, though, Britt.
Oh, it's so good.
But they do have some really fun special technique moves that you can unlock in the Gates of Hell, because she's like a witch and summons demons, and you go to the Gates of Hell to talk to this guy about
You're like your friend Joe, and he just like gives you some moves.
he gives you like special guns and stuff like that. But there's this one,
I've always
this
wanted
break.
a hell friend.
Yeah, I've always wanted a hell friend. Is that what you said? A friend in hell? He gives you this one breakdance move where, Bayonetta's thing is that
Oh,
she's
she,
got
like,
guns
spins
on
with
her
her gun
feet.
feet?
Yeah, it's really
remember
cool.
that move.
I have some of those. You just reminded me. I won it at an IGN. The very first PAX East was an IGN party giveaway, and I forgot I have a
Wait, you
replica.
have shoes?
No. It's like a replica of the gun on the shoe thing.
So is it a gun or a shoe?
It's both.
It's a shoe
But
with
can
a
you
gun.
wear the shoe?
Hell no.
What size are the shoes? Like, are they
I haven't
full
taken-
size or are they like miniature?
Yeah.
I mean, they're like
they
a
like real
person
shoes?
with small feet could fit their foot in.
Could
there.
I fit them?
Maybe
Like
I'll
a
see if I
size
can find
5?
them.
I'm size
I have-
6.5.
Oh, you have tiny feet. I'll see if I can find them.
We might be able to squeeze them in there for a photo,
That would
though.
be really
Yeah,
funny.
I will accept the pain for a quick photo op.
I will say, I don't generally think about cosplaying often. I was like, her outfit would be so much fun to cosplay.
Yes.
It would be really difficult because the elaborate things that come off of her arms would be really tough to build. And I've actually never seen somebody cosplay in the original Bayonetta costume at a con ever. I'm sure they exist. If I was to Google it, of course, somebody's had to have done it.
Yeah.
But like, what a fun outfit to cosplay in.
I remember when the game was first coming out, there were a lot of cosplayers who were doing that, and it was freaking
Yeah.
awesome to see.
Yeah.
So fun.
It would be such an elaborate costume, though. But
Yeah.
no.
I can't even do a stupid one.
You have your Care Bear onesie.
That's my extent of cosplay is a onesie.
Hey, you know what? Minimum effort, maximum effort doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
It matters a little bit. I still feel like the one that I would love to do is easy-ish in terms of cosplay world, which is Raven, and she wears like a leotard and a cape. And I still can't
What's up with you
get
and
that
capes,
together.
girl?
Capes
are
are fun.
amazing.
No, Steimer has like a sexual thing. Nah, not
Whoa,
a sexual
what?
thing. No, you like your men with capes.
I want to wear a cape,
Well, that works.
and
yeah.
if he wants to wear a fur cape, he can wear a fur cape. I ain't gonna kick him out of bed for that.
Is this coming back to Colin again?
Yes.
Yeah. The lion, the sexy lion.
I'll
Oh my
be
gosh.
see what the thing is. I want the sexy feather cape. He
Ah.
can have the sexy fur cape.
See, I told you she has a thing for capes.
I do love a good
Nothing
cape.
wrong with that.
I do love a good cape. On that note, we're going to end our second segment of the show. We are going to take a short break before we come back with a very special third segment. What is it? You're going to have to wait and see. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. This is the final segment of the What's Good Games podcast for Friday, March 2nd.
Oh
Wow.
my God! I
Is that
gotta
the
pay my
date?
rent soon.
Yeah. Technically, wasn't it due yesterday?
I mean,
Oh,
but we're not no.
No.
Wow.
Spoilers, everybody. We don't actually record this on Friday because
That
then
would
you
be
wouldn't be able to
incredible.
listen to it on Friday.
Yeah, if we were able to record it and cut it and do all that shit,
The show would be over in like a matter of a month. We couldn't take it anymore.
we would all be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah.
We need to hire somebody, and we don't have money to hire anybody right now.
Not yet.
Soon, someday,
Barely
maybe.
have money to hire ourselves.
Yeah, it's true.
Ain't that the truth?
Listen, we do this for the passion. We do this for you
yeah.
guys.
We do
We
this
do
for
it
the
for
lulz.
people like Mr. Tom Bach.
Hello, Tom Bach. Tell us what you're doing today.
Tom is our What's Good Games Patreon sponsor, producer for this week's segment. So, Tom has written to us and said, hey, this was my idea for a segment. And we said, that sounds like a cool idea, Tom. Let's talk about that. So this one, he says, is a bit of a double-angled discussion. First, is there a specific game or genre that as a gamer you feel like you should love or be right up your alley, or that others tell you should be right up your alley, but for some reason it just never clicks for you, and maybe even bothers you that you want to like it but you don't, to where you feel compelled to sticking with a specific game for far too long because it feels like a game that you're dying to love or get into, or someone has told you that you would love, so you give it far too much of a chance, long past where you are enjoying it. But you keep at it and keep at it because you really wish you were into it, but you just can't get there. So, ladies, this is an interesting question, an interesting idea of this, like almost like torture gaming. Like you're like forcing yourself to play something that you don't like.
Hey, I've already talked about that a little bit with South Park in particular.
Oh,
It wasn't
yes.
torturing me, but I was not necessarily. It was sort of a weird disconnect where I was like, "Am I having fun?
Am I
I
having a good
can't tell
time?
if
I should
I'm
like
enjoying
this,
I
right?
should like this thing because I liked the first thing. So
Yeah.
Right.
like, why am I not liking this one? And it was a hard decision to put it down, and because I was really far. Like I
Right.
could probably easily go finish that game, but at some point you just gotta cut your
Step
losses
away.
and go.
Yeah, you know, the first thing that comes to mind for me when I think about a game that I should like but that I don't is Battlefield. Because I
you
really
love
enjoy
first-person shooters.
Yeah, I really enjoy first-person shooters. I love squad-based tactical games, things that are cooperative, and like Battlefield multiplayer is very much like that. Like your roles really make a difference if you're working together. It's got these amazing giant maps, lots of fun vehicles to drive. The gun game is really great and really well done. And for some reason, I just can't get into it. And I know that there's so many different types of gameplay in across the spectrum of Battlefield games that have come out over the last decade or so. And I just, for some reason, like every time I play, every year that a new one comes out, you know, there's a new one coming out later this year. It's going to be playable for the first time at E3. They announced that this week. They didn't, of course, haven't talked about the details of what Battlefield is going to be yet. But I just like, I pick it up and I play it for a little bit, and then I'm just like, I don't know. I can't stick with it. And I don't know if it's because it feels like a little like really deep in the military end and it's a little less fantasy. But I generally enjoy playing Call of Duty games, and it doesn't happen to me. But something about Battlefield just doesn't stick with me. And I wish it did, because I feel like I would really have a good time playing that game.
I think for me, and I've talked about this, the whole trees thing, games that take place.
I love your trees thing.
I know. Besides Mass Effect, sci-fi, futuristic, like realistic settings, like in Watch Dogs, the city, I just can't. I wish because I think I would really enjoy it. Like I get past like the first like 15, 20 minutes or so, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be real fun. All these mechanics are awesome. I can spy on people and what they're up to. But then it just completely loses me. And I've tried. So that's why I'm really, really interested to see how oh god, what's CD Projekt Red's next game?
Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yeah. Because I absolutely love The Witcher. So I'm really curious to see if Cyberpunk will hold my attention, because obviously CD Projekt Red is like more than capable of creating a fantastic experience. The other one, and I love and respect the hell out of Ubisoft, but I just have a really hard time with Ubisoft titles, and I think it's because of the sandbox element, the big world. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, I've never finished any of those.
They're difficult to finish.
And I think I get distracted. I think I get distracted. There's so much to do, but I know they're fantastic. When I was playing Assassin's Creed Origins, I was loving it so much. But then I got distracted by like something else.
Squirrel,
exactly. Something else that was on the list. I don't know what it was, but and then that was it. And I haven't hopped back to it since. And Jason's playing it almost every night, and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous. I'm like, God, that looks so much fun. But I'm drawn over here to like
old man's
Deliverance. Old man's journey, ladies and gentlemen.
Assassin's Creed's a good
Yeah.
because I love action games and I love third-person action games. And up until Origins, I would play them for a few hours, but like get really turned off and wouldn't want to play them anymore, and so I didn't.
Because they overdid the collectathon aspect in that franchise in a couple of the more recent installments to the point where like it's like almost like map fatigue. Like when you open it up, there's just so many little icons that it's overwhelming and gets to the point where you're like kind of like throw your hands in the air and be like, I can't do this. It's just too much.
Yeah, no, that's how I felt about, or that's kind of still how I feel about Origins. Like I'm enjoying it and I'm playing it, but anytime I zoom out on that map, it makes me it gives me heart palpitations.
Yeah.
And
this is better than it has been. Like they've really kind of scaled back if that's saying something.
Unreal.
And if we want to talk about third-person action games that I loved and never played now, Shadow of War. I played that game for like 2 hours, put it down because we had like it was just the time of year where there was so many things coming out that I went to something else. Have not gone back.
That's a good one for me too. I don't know what it is, but for some reason I'm not super compelled to pick it up and try it. And I know I would love it. That's like right up my alley. But
you're probably not compelled to pick it up because it becomes incredibly repetitive.
And that's what you've said.
Yeah. And like I love the Lord of the Rings franchise, and I love what they did with Shadow of Mordor.
I 100%ed Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah.
And then
that's crazy
only
that
played
you haven't
like
gone back.
a few hours of Shadow of War.
I do want to check out the new DLC, the Blade of Galadriel that came out with Tariel, because I thought that she was a really cool character.
I never even met her.
Wait, you didn't get far enough to even meet her
Nope.
in the game?
I am at the very beginning of that game.
Okay, then you didn't give enough of a chance.
It's not that it was just I was busy, and then now I'm kind of like,
Meh.
I don't know, half shrug. Like, I think if I go back to it, I would enjoy it probably, but I think what it is the knowledge that grind is waiting there.
Sure.
And it makes me like, meh.
Yeah, I had hoped in these months post-launch that they would have implemented a way to like skip some of that grind.
Yeah.
I mean, even like I know that there's like obviously microtransactions in the game where you can buy like higher powered orcs that you can put into your army that will then help you along the way. But like that still doesn't help the grind to like have to like go and get the individual bodyguards and then go after the war chiefs and then go after the guy at the top of the tower, and then you have to like count down the towers one by one, and then before you move on. And it's just like it just gets to a point where like I got exhausted having to constantly do the same activities over and over again.
Yeah.
And then I got to that map fatigue problem where when I would defeat one guy, then it would be like, oh, this new Nemesis grudge is available over here. And then this new thing over here is available. And I was just like, I don't want to go do all this it just feels like so much filler.
It's so hard to turn that off. I had that in Andromeda. I like 98% percented that game. I picked up all the things I could do. The only reason it wasn't 100 was because not saying I got all the trophies and achievements or whatever the hell it is, but the percentage was because of a glitch, but with a bug with one of the quests. But yeah, it was daunting. It was like, you did this, okay, now you have all these other things to do, and it's like sometimes that's a good thing and sometimes it's not a good thing.
I think now, and that's what she said me, but like things are just too big, like and
I mean, you said don't do it, so of course Brittany's gonna do
Brittany
it.
does it. But because I remember, or my personality has drastically changed. One of these two things. Because I remember before, like looking at a map like Witcher's map and being like, oh my god, I can't wait to dive into this and like do all the things. I'm so excited. There's so much to explore and run around and do. And then when I look at Shadow of War's map, I'm like, and I look at Assassin's Creed Origins map and I'm like, and I'm sure when I look at Far Cry 5's map, I'm gonna be like, too much. Stop.
Yeah, I mean, we're all really busy. There have been a ton of games that have released that we all really want to get to. I don't remember what The Witcher 3's release schedule. Oh God, didn't that release right around Dragon Age Origins? I mean, fuck, Origins. Wow, Inquisition.
Inquisition.
Because I remember it was like, do I play?
It released in May of
released in the spring.
Oh yeah, wasn't there? There was
There was
Tomb
like a-
Raider, Inquisition, and Witcher. I think all released relatively.
May 2015 was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. And
There was DLC, but which
Yeah.
maybe you're
Dragon
thinking
Age Inquisition
of. It was fall.
was November 2014.
Okay, so maybe it was the DLC I was thinking of. Either way, the point I was trying to make that is totally invalid now. I was like, maybe there wasn't a lot going on around The Witcher, or maybe I don't know.
No, there was. It was just I was very excited about that world. I was very excited to dive into it. Even I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings person, but I think Shadow of Mordor was a good sized game. Like that's about what I want from a quote unquote open world third person action game. There was still plenty to do, but I wasn't never going to finish it, right? Like it was a reasonable amount of content to be like, okay, I can get through this, cool. But then when I just kept looking at like the different maps that were coming through in Shadow of War, I was like, Jesus, what? I don't have time for this. Like,
Well, they also added like all of these different orc tribes and these different like game mechanics in. I'm with you. I also like this one pains me to say, but I'm going to admit it to you guys who are listening and watching the show right now. I wanted to like Super Mario Odyssey more than I did, and I just cannot bring myself to go back to that game.
Oh, that's an actually excellent example.
I finished the main story, and now I'm in like the go do all the stuff that's now opened up, you know, like the Dark Side of the Moon stuff, and get all the stars and get all the power moons, and I'm just like,
no,
I have no desire to go back to that game.
I was still I like smushed my microphone into my face.
and it pains me to say because I love Mario games, and I just can't. I'm just like, I have no desire. I'm just like, there's nothing about it that makes me want to go back and
It's so weird
and
too.
do
'Cause granted, I'm not like a huge Mario person, but I find it really charming when I'm playing it, and I'm like, oh my god, like the thing that they did there, that was so cool and like clever. And then I put it down.
Right.
I never think about it.
No,
again.
that's it.
Yeah.
When
And
you're
it's
playing
weird.
it, it's super fun and you enjoy it. But when you set it down, it just kind of like, all right, it's going to go in this revolving door of games that maybe I'll pick up again.
I would rather go back to Breath of the Wild than go back to Super Mario Odyssey, and that is shocking that I'm
That
saying
is
that out
shocking.
loud.
Wow.
I don't know that I feel that way. I haven't touched Zelda in a very long time.
Yeah, same. What the hell's... I mean, this is crazy for me. I have not finished Breath of the Wild yet, and it's like, hello, I'm a big Zelda fan.
You haven't finished it?
You're wearing a
No.
Zelda
You haven't
sweatshirt.
endgamed it yet?
I have not.
You haven't defeated Ganon?
No.
Ganon's still running
Because
amok out there. You
I mean,
best go save the
listen,
world.
like-
Hyrule's waiting for you.
The story isn't very... like, it's not grabbing me. I know what's going
You
to
mean
happen.
Wild Pigman is gonna get defeated?
Wild Pigman's gonna get defeated. He's gonna come back eventually. That's what. So it's not so much the story. Yeah, it's strange. You know, I was thinking about the Far Cry 5 coming out, and obviously Super Mario Odyssey, because Far Cry 5 has co-op. I see myself finishing this game. I feel like it's gonna be so much more fun and manageable with another person or more people like you ladies. I will play with you. Don't give me shit. Okay, thank you. And with like Super Mario Odyssey, I feel like if that was co-op, more co-op than what it is, like if someone's
not just the hat.
just not the hat, I feel like that would also make it more exciting.
Absolutely,
You know, and so it's kind of interesting to think about. I hate that where I'm in a position where it's like, if this game had co-op, I would have played it more. But that's kind of
But
what
I mean,
it is.
that's where you're at in life. And
Yeah.
that's fine.
I have a husband and a dog. I gotta keep up, you know.
It's true. There is a second part
Love you,
to Tom's comment here, his topic that I wanted to bring up. And the second part is there a genre or a game that traditionally you have disliked or not gotten into or had a truly bad perception of, but after giving it a chance, it completely and utterly surprised you that you could dig it so much? What was that specific game or genre, and what may have happened where it caught you totally off guard?
Yeah, Peggle and Guitar Hero.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
You didn't think you would like
Peggle's
Peggle?
great.
No, I mean, I'm not like a puzzle person. As you
not really a
popped my
puzzle.
match 3 cherry when we played Battle Chef Brigade, whatever it is. I play games to lose myself, to do the whole story thing, to learn about new characters, experience, blah, blah, blah.
Peggle on the Switch?
Not yet, but it should
Oh.
be.
Should be.
I was just
Holy-
like, wait a minute, I want to play that.
I
on
would
the
man.
I would re 100% that game if
Oh,
it
yeah.
came to Switch. PopCap, if somebody is listening out there, EA, please bring Peggle and Peggle 2 to Nintendo
PopCap's still
Switch.
around?
Yeah.
I thought they didn't. I mean, I'm thinking of the
No, they're
There
still
were
supporting
layoffs.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
Okay, I'm thinking of someone else then, obviously. But yeah, Peggle, completely hooked. I got my family hooked on it. I bought them a PlayStation or an Xbox just so they could play Peggle. So that one really took me, I would say, by the balls, but you know.
I've never been one for. I mean, first-person shooters are fine, but I'm not like Andrea, where I'm like, yeah, I love this genre. It's amazing. So back in the day, when BioShock came out, it had two things going for it that I hated. One, first-person shooter. Two, scary. Like, not horror, but like
Thriller.
yeah. I don't like either of those things really that much, especially like the freaky part.
The
'cause-
Splicers.
like
got
the fact.
You got the Big Daddy over
I know,
there.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Hi, Big Daddy. When I first started that, and the friggin' splicer comes at you, and like at the bathysphere, I was like, "What am I doing? Why am I playing this game?"
Because it's one of the best video games ever
I
made.
mean, I'm obviously very
That's
glad
why,
that
yeah.
I did, but at the time, I was like, "Am I gonna be able to do this? Like, I don't like this. I'm not in." At the time, I wasn't enjoying myself, and then once you get some powers, and then you shoot like shit out of your
Crows
hands.
out
I
of your
was-
hands.
Oh, so good.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you. The first person shooter part, I didn't have a problem with because I like shooters. But the scary part, like I really had to like push myself to get through that game. But
How long did it take you to finally kill a Big Daddy? Because like for
you always
me,
just ran away.
I will. No, I keep smashing my face against this microphone. Because it took me a while to like want to hurt it.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
They're so scary in the game.
They're
though.
scary, but they don't hurt you until you hurt them.
Yes and no, but I thought don't they go after you if you go for
If
the
you
little
go for the little
sisters?
sister,
Yeah.
But if you're just
Harvest
walking
those
around,
girls.
like they don't bother you. Like if you're just like, "What's up?" Like they're fine. At least that's how I remember it. Because it took me a while to be like, okay, I guess
I thought there
gotta
were
kill
some
the thing.
instances where you like are kind of forced into fights with them.
Oh, you absolutely are. But I think
Yeah.
the first time, that first Big Daddy, I'm pretty sure it's rather benign until you start the fight with it.
Yeah.
And it took me it took me like 20 minutes at least, or probably 30 minutes. And I was just like, do I have to?
That game was
kill
scary.
you?
It took me a long time to play that. I picked it up, got past
And
the
then
first
also-
scene, put it down.
There was that element also of I'm really scared to fight this thing and I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the splicers as an enemy, if you guys have never played BioShock, first off, put it on your list to play. It is so fantastic. They did a remastered edition for the current generation of consoles and PC. The BioWare Definitive Edition, I think it was. BioWare
BioWare.
Collection. I think it was BioShock, sorry.
I was like, what?
The BioShock Collection. I have BioWare on the brain. It's really great. You guys should check it out. And it's literally one of the best video games of all time ever created. The splicers are these like mutant humans that have like hooks coming out of their arms,
They're
and they're
basically like super
disfigured
drug
and-
addicts.
Weird masks.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they like run at you really erratically, and they have these crazy voices, and
Mm-hmm.
they're really scary to fight. And there's so many different types of them, and then you never know when they're gonna pop out. And because of the exploration and the incredible level design in that game, like you kind of like, I was always like creeping around corners,
Yes.
like afraid I was gonna run into one.
I turned the volume up so loud so that I could like
Hear them from a distance.
Yeah, because they always are like singing to them. They're like me. Oh God, they're like me. They're singing to themselves.
That
they're
moment when Stammer
they're
realizes
talking around. It's like
she's a
so
splicer.
you know when they're coming. They're usually not that quiet.
Right.
So if you're paying attention, you're listening. You can hear them coming. But
Yeah. But it's I'm with you on that. The game for me that I did not think I would like, that I kind of, or the genre I should say, that I went into kind of kicking and screaming and was like, I'm not gonna like this, I'm gonna hate this, was MOBAs. So
yeah.
the League was a big thing, several years ago. Obviously Dota 2's been around for a while. There's been several other big MOBAs that have come up and been really successful. And I tried League, and I just was having trouble getting into it because the item system was just a lot to manage. And then when Paragon came around and I was able to try it with the PlayStation 4 controller, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty fun. And then it was third person, so it wasn't this top-down isometric view.
See, I like the top-down
See,
view.
and I didn't. I was just like, I couldn't connect with the heroes. They're so hard to see. They felt so small. But with Paragon, like, you know, you get really close up with your characters, so it felt like could actually see these cool special moves that they were doing. And I really gravitated towards that in a way that I was not expecting. I remember the first time I saw that game was at a press event when it was in closed alpha. Like before it was even in closed alpha, like just like a hands-on, like behind closed doors press event in San Francisco, and they showed it to me, and I was like, I went because a friend of mine was working on the game, and I was like fully expecting to not like it. I was like, I've dabbled very lightly in MOBAs. I'm like level 5 or 7 or something in League, very, very, very baby mode. Didn't really like it, and so then I was like, I'm gonna check this game out. I don't want to, but I know the guy making it, so I'll go. And then I walked away from that demo being like, oh my gosh, I think I like MOBAs now. And now, of course, you guys have all heard me talk about Paragon ad nauseum on this show. 500 hours later, me being like sad in a corner over here that they're canceling my game.
Talk about circle of life.
I know.
Pre-alpha and
it's crazy. I never thought that I would like MOBAs, and I tried Smite, and I really enjoyed Smite as well. And it's a genre that I never thought that I would get into, because while I enjoy online multiplayer experiences, I never thought that I would get into a games as service type of game where I'm going back to the same game, playing the same maps and the same characters over and over again. I mean, we do that for a set amount of time in online first person shooters, right? Like the new Halo comes out, you like get to know the maps and like you play it for a set amount of hours, but then you kind of like, I'm done with you, and then you move on to the next shooter.
Yep.
But with like MOBAs, like the game is the same. It never changes.
But it's not.
Because they add new heroes, and like the hero matchups are different.
More whenever you play against other people.
Right. The experience is different every time. Yeah. But I mean, that's why MOBAs are so popular. And it's a genre that I never thought I would get into, and now here I am, like really like in love with it, looking for like, do I have to, get into Smite now? Do I, try something else? Or what am I going to do
Play
to like,
League with
scratch that
me.
itch?
I know you don't like League.
No, here's the thing, and I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. If Riot Games will please just make a version of League of Legends for console, I will play it. My problem is the PC is out here in the studio. So if I want to come play League with you, I have to come out here, and I'm terrible at mouse and keyboard. I've told you that my derpy fingers can't stretch over to the shift and the tab key. I'm like all like normal hands trying to hit the number buttons, and then I hit the wrong button, and then I fire my super when I'm not supposed to, and it's a thing. I know I just got to practice, and then I'll get better. But like,
if you don't
if
have
it
the
makes
will
you
to
feel
practice,
better, when I fired it back up a couple weeks ago, I definitely accidentally fired my super at one point. I was like, shit, wrong button. God damn it.
I think the Switch has also opened my eyes to all that I don't really even need a specific genre, as long as it has a good story, like A Night in the Woods, or like What Remains of Edith Finch. Like that's not on the Switch, but that's kind of like where it should be. An old man's journey. As long as there's a story there. I see that grin on your face, Stammer. As long as there's an interesting story there, I'm kind of learning that I can like almost any genre. It doesn't have to necessarily be like a JRPG or an RPG or action adventure. As long as there's like a good story to draw me in, which is something I've learned about myself in the past year or so. Mm-hmm. Broadening my horizons.
Something that I noticed looking at the games on the shelf. So a game that I love now, and we've talked about before, but had a rough introduction with, was Borderlands. So
same. I rage quit that game the first time I played it.
Yeah, so I remember firing it up. I think I got to it late. I know I was working at IGN at the time. I think I probably had assignments to play other games, and so I couldn't play it when everybody else was playing it. When I finally got around to playing it, everybody else was already done. So I started trying to play it solo, and I just think those games are boring as shit solo. Like, I just can't do them. No. To me, I'm like, Borderlands is a co-op game. End of story. and that was the only thing that saved it, was somebody, I don't remember who, or so sorry, whoever played with me.
Whoever shepherded
whoever decided
Stammer
to
through
play
Borderlands is not getting their due credit.
You're not, but you know in your heart who you are. Please tell me, because I don't remember you.
Amazing. So good. Show yourself.
Show yourself, exactly. But yeah, so then somebody played, and then we played co-op, and once we started to play co-op, I I was like, oh, okay, this is
Oh.
starting to click with me now, and I'm enjoying myself.
Borderlands is the game that made Jason and I get the side-by-side setup that we have right now. Because
Yeah.
the local multiplayer UI is just horrendous. It's so bad. And so from the get-go, I was super turned on by Borderlands. I was like, this looks so much fun, but it was just impossible to play co-op.
No,
so.
it looked like visually, I was like, oh, this is interesting, and like the humor was cool, but I was just so bored playing by myself.
Sure.
I could see that. My problem with Borderlands was that the introductory levels were, unless you're like a really proficient shooter, like were really challenging until you can get like your first good weapon. And so I was struggling with like the first base of bandits that you come across. I just kept dying over and over again, and I couldn't figure out like how to cheese it or like where to take cover or how to get past it. And so finally I had to ask my friend at the time. He's still my friend. But we had just started working together, Billy Shibley. I was like, Billy, can you please help me play this? He now works for a PUBG Corps. And I was like, you just need to come into my game and help me get past this level. And so here I am like level 2 and he's like level 50.
Oh, boy.
And he drops into my game. And that was what I loved about Borderlands, is that they didn't restrict that. They were like, anybody can drop into anybody's game. And so he would come in and he would just like waste everybody. And I was like, thank you. And I would just like trail around, like picking up all the loot that's
strolling
dropping.
in after.
Yeah. I was like,
This is a good
he
day.
helped me cheese through the first couple of levels until I got to like level 10. And then I was like, okay, now I have guns that, you know, can actually do some damage. And I felt better about myself. And once I got, you know, to like level 20 or 30 in that game, that's when it really gets fun. I mean, but like all games that have an RPG element, the beginning is meant to be like brutally difficult until you kind of get your feet under you. But yeah, when's Borderlands 3 coming out, Gearbox? Maybe
Soon,
tell us
TM.
soon.
It's been a minute.
I mean, they gotta say something at E3, right?
Yeah.
Please.
If not, then that
Sucks.
then that
I mean,
game
Gearbox
is-
does a lot at PAX, but I doubt
sleepy.
they're gonna say anything at PAX East. I
No.
think they're gonna save it for E3.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Man, E3. That's sneaking up.
Sneaking up indeed.
Yes, it is.
We got March, April, May, and then it's E3.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys buy your tickets yet? Still on sale.
Do it.
Before they sell out.
Let's hang out.
It's gonna be great.
Wow.
Is it?
No,
yeah. I'm like,
I feel like this is going to be
It's
great.
gonna be great. No, I have a moment of silence because I feel like we just did our E3 prediction show, right? Didn't we? We did an E3 prediction show, didn't we?
We did, but we did it
did.
like way back in like the end of May of last year.
Right, but
but
this
she's
is,
saying she doesn't feel like a
it
year.
doesn't feel like it's been that long. Is what I'm getting at. Like it's hard to believe that. I mean, does it for you?
I mean, no, it doesn't feel that long. You just talk about that. It reminds me that our 1-year anniversary is coming up, and I need to start working on our blooper reel because I haven't done that yet.
Oh, that'll be fun.
But yeah, we need to plan. I'm like, oh shit, we haven't planned anything for our 1-year anniversary.
I was thinking about that too a couple days
It's
ago,
just
and
the
then
paper
I tried to forget about it.
anniversary. It's not as important.
Steimer.
I'm just kidding.
It's
God,
super important.
Look at that salt.
Paper.
The modern version of paper is clocks, which is weird.
What?
What?
Yeah, so you know that there's traditional anniversary gifts and then there's like modern anniversary gifts.
No, I did not.
Oh, that's
Well,
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so there's like the traditional ones that are from like, you know,
Yeah,
a long
paper.
time ago, and then
Plastic.
they've redone them so that there's more modern ones so that they make
So
sense.
clocks,
in a-
what? You're supposed to get him a watch?
I guess, but
What if you don't wear a
Why?
watch?
well, why would you follow any of these things, right?
People do.
They do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But then why are you asking me why get him a watch?
Because I just think clock is a very specific thing.
Right.
Paper can be multiple things, right?
Honey,
Yes.
I love you. Here's a stack of paper.
Here's
No,
book.
so-
Book is paper.
So the paper anniversary gift that I got for John for our first anniversary is I had a custom printed.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a custom
Yeah.
printed. It looks like a record, but it's a piece of paper. And it's the words of the song that we danced to, our first dance at our wedding. So the words are printed in like a circle, so it looks like a record from a distance.
No, my dumb ass was
cute.
thinking you literally hand someone like a ream of paper, and I'm
No.
like, why?
Like the paper's
Like
just a
500
guideline for you to be
Stationery
creative.
was a customary thing to give people as a paper gift, monogrammed envelopes or
I
you know,
get it now. That
piece
makes
of
sense.
art.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
and like there's the wood anniversary, and so my friend had like rocking chairs made or something. Like you can like do so many cool things with them.
I had no idea.
But
these
then
ex-
I just
mean,
think clocks. It's a clock.
well, I mean, a watch is a good gift, but like John doesn't wear watches, so
Oh, that's what I'm saying. And so like, what do you like? Here's a clock for the house.
cuckoo clock.
Oh, how annoying would that be?
It would be super annoying.
Oh, so annoying. We had one growing up, and my mom was super proud of it, and she would never shut it off in the middle of the night. And I'm such a light sleeper. The tick, tick, tick.
Oh,
Wait,
no.
the cuckoo
That would
go
be
in the middle of the
broken.
night. Oh hell no!
I know, so I'd have
I
to
would
get
break
out
it
of bed,
immediately.
off of my bunk bed that I never had a brother or sister. I just had a bunk bed for some reason. And I would go down, and I'd have to grab the like super heavy like little acorn things that were the weights for it and hold it shut. And I like angrily like looked at that cuckoo bird because it was broken and it would
Why
constantly
didn't you
be
ever
out.
tell your mom to turn it off? That it was bothering your sleep.
I did. She forgot sometimes.
Yeah.
She made an effort. I'd give her like a D for effort though. I love you, Mom, but she just didn't think about it.
D for effort.
My dad also had one of those clocks, but it was a grandfather clock, so there was no cuckoo, but it did
Though the
it did
Ding
like
dong.
the ticking back
Yeah.
and forth, and it was one of those wind up clocks where you actually had to put the key in and wind
Oh.
it. Yeah. And it would slow down, and you would know it was time to wind when it started telling the wrong time. And you're like, oh, gotta wind the
You're
clock
like,
again.
well,
He
I'm
still
gonna
has
be
it,
late.
actually.
yeah. Clocks, man.
We got off on a crazy tangent here.
We did. It
We
happens. We're good at this. We're very good at this.
Yes, indeed. So we're probably gonna wrap up the show now. I want to give a big thank you again to WGG producer Tom Bach for sending in those topics for us to discuss. It's been an interesting one. I forgot that Brittany hated games with trees in them.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
I'm never gonna live that down.
It's a weird thing.
I
You have
can't wait
admit,
for you to
come
find
on.
a game with trees in it that you love.
It's not that.
Did you not play Ori and the Blind Forest?
I did for a little bit.
But you didn't like it because it had trees in
It
it.
had trees in it. I hate every game that has trees in
To
it.
be fair, that first tree
How do you
boss
like
is a
Zelda
mother-
then? It's
It's
just
a
one giant
joke.
tree game.
It's a joke. It's such a joke. No, so okay, one more time. If you give like scenario A, scenario B. Scenario A, a rolling forest of trees and ponds and whatever. Scenario B, a castle with a moat and rolling mountains and wildflower patches.
There's gonna be trees on that mountain.
Okay, I can handle a certain amount of trees. I don't want to live my life
What's
in a
the
forest.
number of trees? Do you have?
I would say like 90% trees is an issue.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like that's like half of Zelda's games.
I can't argue with you, but it's not. I can't. No, but what I'm saying is,
so confused.
okay, Zelda doesn't have just all trees. It has like snowy atmosphere. It has like the desert. It has like a patches of trees where you go in there, you know you're gonna find like a Korok or like a treasure or something. But it's not
You just need
realistic
environmental
trees.
variety.
Okay, wait. My issue is 90% of realistic trees. We're getting more specific.
Okay.
We're gonna learn. We're gonna learn what this
You like
deep-rooted
cartoon
issue
trees.
is.
So
Sure.
like Kirby's Dream Forest.
I love that. I love that tree.
Okay.
That you kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor tree. Rip in peace.
I'm trying to think of a game with
my favorite thing to say
what's a
'cause it's
game with
stupid.
realistic trees that you just couldn't? That you were just like, I'm done.
I hate this tree. It's too. Look at the bark. It's too good.
No, the whole reason. God damn it! The whole reason this came about. Fuck both of you. Was in Horizon. You guys were like, "The Horizon's so great and the setting's so beautiful and wonderful."
And you were like, it has
I'm
trees
like,
in it.
there's so many trees.
That's
and
just the one area. Listen, if you're
I
gonna give
know.
Zelda a pass because it has different areas, you have to give Horizon a pass because the other areas in Horizon are amazing.
okay, that's fine.
Get your ass to the
But
desert.
what I'm saying
Ain't
is,
no
Zelda.
trees there.
I was immediately
There are, but
attracted
not
to
as many.
Zelda. I'm gonna kick your ass, Timer. I was immediately attracted to Zelda because it's like, okay, it's a Zelda game for one. I know what to expect. I know what's coming. But like a new game like Horizon, I'm not saying. I think you're totally right. I just had to get past that opening spot. I gotta get away from the realistic trees.
Okay,
I'll be fine.
tonight I'm doing. I know I've said this like 3 times on the show. I'm
have.
going to boot up Horizon. I'm going to show it to you in HDR on my PS4 Pro tonight. I'm going to show you the other areas, and I'm going to inspire you to go home, put down Old Man's Journey,
The
and to
old man
play-
Put
finished
the old
his
man
journey.
down.
The old
play-
man finished his journey.
and to play this game.
God, okay, sure. So Kingdom Come Deliverance, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Monster Hunter, and now Horizon Zero Dawn.
You
sure,
did this to
You
yourself.
can do it.
sure.
Also, the first stage of Monster Hunter is one giant tree. You're literally in the enchanted forest.
And I
doing-
don't like
oh my
it.
gosh.
I don't like it.
So
That's
did you not like the thing she was playing on our
last night,
Patreon stream?
actually,
You didn't like that
I
area.
liked that because it was new and it was
What?
different. It was really purple and pretty, and I'm burning out on the Monster.
She's
Hunter
thinking
location.
about the Coral Highlands, not the enchanted forest.
Girl,
Yeah.
why are you saying names I don't know?
Okay. All right, for reals though, we're actually gonna sign sign off now. I want to give a big thank you and some recognition to the awesome admins in the What's Good Game fan page over on Facebook. We've crossed over 1,000 members now, which is fantastic. So round of applause for you guys for managing a great community over there. If you guys have not visited it, it's a really fun group of people. Lots of great discussions happen about video games, people sharing what they're working on. If you ever need people to play certain games with, you can go there and chat with the folks. We jump in there pretty regularly. It's a really fun place, and so I just want to give a big thank you to the admins who run the What's Good Games fan page on Facebook.
It's Facebook.com/groups/what's-good-games. Damn it, Sammer.
You can also just search What's Good Games fan page too.
Right, and so no, this is very important. When you want to join the group, they're gonna ask you 2 questions. What's good games, and what's your favorite video game? What's your favorite video game? Irrelevant. But what's good games is a relevant question to what?
No, keep going.
Okay, it's a very relevant question to answer, because if you're just like, I don't know, we're probably not gonna add you, because we're trying to keep this Facebook group just a really happy, wholesome, inclusive, positive place. And what happens sometimes is when you have a brand called What's Good Games, people are like, I like good games that are good, and then they try to join your group, and then they turn out to be trolls, and we don't like that there. So we just want to make sure you know what kind of group you're joining, so just fill that in.
Those questions just reminded me of Monty Python. It's like, what is your quest? What is your favorite color? And then he's like, blue, wait, no, green, and then he gets knocked off the cliff.
I haven't seen that movie enough to remember that part. I've seen it.
Don't be sad about that, Steimer. This should not be surprising to you.
It's not surprising.
No. So, okay, we'll wrap this up. I promise. So the very first podcast I was on, the Noob Katir's podcast, shout out to the old IGN blogs. They implemented a segment where I had to watch one movie a week because I hadn't seen any of those movies. The Big Lebowski, is that one?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, that's
a classic.
So they made me watch that. They made me watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Spaceballs. Those are all movies that I had never seen. So maybe we should implement something like that here at some point.
We might need to.
Because they are like, we can't handle this anymore, because the references were just going right over my head.
You still need to watch Labyrinth, right?
Yes.
What? I thought we did that.
No, we didn't do
Labyrinth,
that.
and then we were talking Coyote Ugly, right?
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could watch both.
Doubleheader.
That's we got double header, but that's okay. We could make it work.
Oh boy.
All right, for reals now. This is your actual goodbye. Thank you so much, you guys, for tuning into the show. If you listen to this on podcast and you have yet to rate us on the podcast service that you listen to us on, we would love it if you could take a few minutes out of your day to give us a rate, to give us a review if you're feeling, a little enterprising and you have a couple extra minutes in your day. It would really help us out. And thank you so much for supporting us. And we will be back next week with IGN's Alana Pierce. It's going to be wonderful. Have a great weekend, everybody. Mwah.